See if anyone pops on. I'm just going to dive right in because I'm going to save this to my Instagram TV. So for those of you that don't know me, hello, my name is Heather Guernsey. I'm the owner of Soul Path Energy Healing. And I have recently begun sharing my own energy healing journey through a series of videos. So I kind of crammed a bunch of my personal experiences into the last video, and I've got 2 more, so I'm going to keep this short and sweet, but I did just want to share the healing that's been happening for me over the last couple of days. So yesterday I had an emotion code session, and I've been exchanging sessions with a woman who lives in South Africa because the work can be done remotely. So she worked on me while I was sleeping, and I woke up to the reported findings, the things that she removed from me, and we were working on a specific issue that has been coming up for me lately. I've been having waves of anxiety and trouble breathing, and in an access consciousness session a few weeks back, I learned that it was probably from being suffocated in a past life. So I went in around that because that was something that's been resurfacing for me. So there was a level or a feeling of panic from suffocation in a past life, and it had entered like every system in my body on a DNA level and all this crazy stuff. So we cleared that, and then yesterday when I was sitting at my desk just working, I felt like a whoosh like out of my head, and so I think that was part of the processing, because that's kind of how energy seems to leave me abruptly, is like that kind of a pull. It's happened in my stomach before, happened in my head. So anyway, the other thing we went in for was to release any trapped emotions that were standing in the way of me stepping into my full healing capabilities, because I know I've been a healer in past lives. And the stuff that came up, I had like 3 or 4 emotions that were from age 7. And for those of you who don't know me, I'm very lucky. I had a very happy childhood. I come from a very happy home. My parents are still married. I'm very close with my sister, although growing up we were at each other's throats a lot. But nothing traumatic is coming to mind from around age 7. So I thought that's really interesting. So, I'll put it to the side, and hopefully as I'm processing, I'll start to remember things. So then today, I literally just now had a session with a wonderful woman named Christina, and she was helping me with some healing breath work, which is still hard for me because I still get that shallow, I start to breathe in a shallow way. And I think that is due to what I've learned about my past lives, but also because I've been a ballet dancer my whole life. So we are taught to breathe, but not to show it, basically, which is the opposite of natural breathing. So I think there's some retraining that I need to do. But anyway, she basically then did some healing with Reiki, and I forget what the other thing she did was called, but it was kind of working through the layers of spiritual, mental, physical, which is something similar to another kind of energy therapy I've had before. So I saw, during this session, I had my eyes closed, but I saw purple behind my eyelids, and I saw kind of like a shape. I can only do one hand because I'm holding my phone, but it was like a shape, kind of like something blossoming, like a flower blossoming, but it didn't really look like a flower exactly. So she told me after that, purple is the color of basically of spirituality and the third eye. So I think it's kind of saying, the third eye, is opening. And so that's really great because I do feel like the more I'm diving into my own healing and healing others, the more my intuition is just opening up. So that's great to have that confirmation. And then the other thing she said was some stagnant energy in my heart area, in my heart chakra and chest. And that I think is also still stuff that's processing from yesterday. But I am going to look into that more as time goes on. I had 3 heart walls in case you missed my last video. So they're all cleared now. And the other thing was there was something in the root chakra that came up for her, another block, I think. And I told her that was really strange because the work I had done yesterday, age 7 was coming up. And she was like, well, actually age 8 was what I had in my head. So 7, 8, similar age. So now I'm just like, what the fuck happened when I was 7 or 8? And as I hung up the phone with her, I sort of had this mini vision, like an almost memory. I have a very active imagination, but sometimes I really wonder if that's my imagination or if it's memory. And so I had this sort of vision of she and I walking to school, because we used to walk to school together, probably unsupervised, probably even as early as first grade, maybe second grade, because we lived in a very safe neighborhood and it was the 90s and our school was down the street. So, but I had this vision of us walking to school together and a car slowing down and a creepy man trying to talk to us. And I don't know if I'm making it up. I don't know why that's popping into my brain as if it's a memory, but it would match up with the emotions that I was feeling. So the things that came up in yesterday's session were fear, terror, and insecurity. I think insecurity, yeah. So I just messaged her and she said that it's totally possible, but she doesn't really remember that as of right now. So I'm going to let it simmer, let it process, and see if it comes back more vividly over the next few days. And then there was one other incident where I had around that age where I'm wondering if that could have been a contributing factor, where a friend of mine in Vermont fell out of a tree and hurt herself pretty badly, and she was fine. But at the time it was really traumatic because I think I had to run and get an adult. I think I had to go and get our parents. So that was scary. But I haven't thought about that in a long time. So that it could be either thing. But what's so crazy is just like, the reason I'm telling you this, there are two things. One is because I want to share my healing journey, because every healer needs to do their own healing work. And then two, because it's just so interesting to see what the hell shows up in your adult life as blocks or as anxiety or, chronic pain, illness, that all has to do with stuff from the past, whether it be childhood or fetushood or past life stuff. So it's so important to clear all that shit. And I am a big advocate for just mixing modalities, trying everything. But I do think there will be one or two that resonate really well with you. I've just been so lucky, and I've been trading modalities with people like crazy over the last 3 months and getting a lot of answers, doing a lot of healing, doing a lot of forgiving. So I encourage you to do the same, because right now our world is insane and there's a mass awakening happening. And I know all the healers are well in tune to it. And it's just, there are a lot of shifts happening. So I encourage you to start the work from the inside out. And if you're interested in the emotion code work that I do, it's really awesome. We use muscle testing. I use a pendulum to get we ask yes/no answers from the subconscious. Yes/no questions, get answers from the subconscious mind about what trapped emotion is contributing to whatever issue we're working on, at what age it got stuck. And usually from that, people are able to remember whatever caused them to feel that emotion consciously. And then we clear it by running a magnet. I cannot talk right now. Running a magnet over the governing meridian. So yeah, that's basically, it's really awesome stuff. I do lives. I have my Tuesdays Truth series, but I also do live demos of the emotion code several times a month. So just check my story. I post about it. I think I have one coming up this coming Monday. So if you're interested in watching, check my story back for times and details. And I'm just going to stop here and keep it short and sweet. Thanks for tuning in, guys.